All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah. I don't know how you have experienced the before break session. I thought it was really great. A lot of things that we are not aware of, that we took for granted, that we knew, but actually we don't know. Yeah. So now should I sit? How should I sit? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I think not too bad. My posture at my work desk. Okay. I shall practice better because I can't do without my heels. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just to keep it light. Yeah. So for today's panel session, as you can see, we are talking about cancer. Why I put this as one of the topic to be discussed is because surrounding me recently, especially this past few weeks and past few months, a lot of news from my friends and families all suffering from cancer. And it's very sudden. Yeah. And someone, just passed away, realizing that he had pancreas cancer and then treating it before the treatment is completed, he's gone. Yeah. So it's very, very sudden. And I think this is what we call my dad told me that there is this term going around in the hospital saying that there's this new cancer. Yeah. So that means it appears somewhere, you thought you treated, then it appears somewhere else. Yeah. And it's very fast, it evolves very fast, like mutated kind of situation. So today, I've gotten the panelists to share about some of them, their past experiences, being recovering person themselves or giving care to somebody else. So this this will be an open session. Later on, I'll gather a lot of questions from you via Slido, and then we bring it out for discussion. Okay. So, but before that, let me just start with asking two questions. Yeah, I need you to do your finger exercise now. Yeah. So, so scan the QR code. It's safe. Okay. Because Wendy said you cannot be susceptible to scams, right? Cyber scams, yeah. So scan the QR code, answer the first question. How many cancer cases were reported in Singapore in the past 5 years? 50,000, 75,000, or 90,000? I'll just give you 1 minute to do it, yeah? You don't need 1 minute to click and answer, but I suspect you need that time to scan the QR code and refresh your screen, yeah. Okay, yep. Yeah, majority is right. Yeah, 60%. So the answer is 90,000. And this is only the reported cases. Okay. And this statistics is from the health cancer, this is cancer center statistics. Yeah. And this was like 2 years ago. So I am very, very sure currently the statistics is even higher than what is being reported. It's quite scary. Yeah. Yeah. So the next question, who do you think is affected? The males more or the females more? Yeah, M stands for male, F for female, okay? There is no unknown, yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, only 30%, 35% got it right. So actually, it's almost half-half. Yeah. So from statistics, cancer affects men 49%, female 51%. So go home and tell your male counterparts, don't think they won't get it. Yeah, I'm not cursing anybody, but I'm just saying that the probability is here. Yeah, it's about half-half. Okay, so take note of that. So before I start the panel discussion, so this is the place where I need you. If you've got questions for our panelists, not for me, yeah, for them. Okay, yeah, yeah. So if you've got questions for them, just drop that into this open discussion point while I'll just start the ball rolling with the warm up session first, okay? So then, what are we going to talk about today? Definitely it's about cancer, and why am I here as a moderator other than standing in, right? Yeah. So, the truth be told is that recently my mom got diagnosed as cancer. Yeah. So then I was thinking, I got very frustrated with the whole process because of communication breakdown. Yeah. So there are communication breakdown between what she can convey to me, what she understood from the doctor, and what the doctor told me, and what I'm trying to tell her to tell the doctor. All these kind of communication. It's very frustrating, to the extent when she has to go through treatment, those diagnosis stuff, right? We couldn't land on a decision because of all these communication challenges. And then we sought second opinion, third opinion, etc. And at the end, the her main doctor told us, you don't need to seek opinion. She's high risk, stage 3. Yeah. Why didn't you tell me in the first place? Yeah, that kind of situation. So that brought on certain frustration as a caregiver perspective, that I have questions maybe for the panelists later on to deal with. I'm sure some of you in the audience, you may be facing this directly or indirectly, and you have questions, you put it there, and then let's see how we can help to address them. We can't solve your problem, but we can, address it and share some of experiences so that you can take away and see how to adjust to your own situation accordingly. Okay. So without further ado, let me just get our own, our panelists, each of you, to self-introduce yourself and share a little bit about your journey. Yeah. Audrey.
Hey, hi, can everyone hear me? Yes, my name is Audrey. By profession, I'm a career coach at a local university. Physiologically, I would call myself as a womb-free woman because of my cancer experience. So I was diagnosed with early stage cervical cancer last year. And right now, I'm considered cancer-free because I've gone through the relevant treatment for it. Since the focus is on recovery, when I look back on my journey, I would say that my recovery actually started at the beginning as soon as I was diagnosed. And I'm still going through recovery of sort, even though medically I'm considered, cancer-free. So yeah, having said that, I also want to make a note is that I often try not to see myself or regard myself as a cancer patient. As much as, yes, it was a part of me previously, but, I'm also like trying to move on from the experience. And in fact, like, I regard this as having a new lease of life. It's a renewal of sort. And I look forward to share more about my experience with everyone later.
Thank you, Audrey. Julian?
Hi everyone, my name is Julian, and I am a private banking executive. My forte is in private banking advisory and change management. Before, I have always been pushing the agenda, meeting goals, and always enjoyed waking up at 5 a.m., having that routine, exercise, a very social life. Until one day, this was in June 2020, COVID. Common sense told me that I saw something suspicious. TLC, touch, look, check in the mirror. And I got myself into the doctor. 2 weeks later, I got all the tests done. Lo and behold, in that room, on that very day with my family and my partner with me, it was like doomsday message. At the age of 38, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. Only at 38. And I wondered to myself, what are all those dreams that I've been chasing? My career, everything was just crumbled to dust. Shortly later, I realized that I was down this ravine that was so black, and I could not recognize myself anymore in the next 12 months as I started treatments. I lost everything that I had worked for, physically, emotionally, as well as mentally. All the fears I will share in a short while started to change me. And in that time, I realized that everything was really just worldly, so to speak. From that day on, I realized that I needed to change and identify myself in a different way and to redefine success. So from then on, I started to be a different person and emerged stronger with fitness and transformation, which I'll share shortly.
Thank you. Thank you, Julian. Sarah?
Yeah, hello. Hi, everyone here. My name is Sarah here. I'm a counselor from 365 Cancer Prevention Society. As I'm a counselor here, so I provide emotional support for my clients who is going through the cancer journey. So in the cancer journey itself, there's actually 4 phases. The one can feel more distress. So I support them during the diagnosis period, before treatment, after treatment, and even survivorship itself. Because this is actually the stage that's often overlooked here. Now, a lot of people may think that, hey, after the treatment, you should be well, you should be back to normal. But the question is it really so? For example, transition back to the workforce. Are you still to perform the role that you used to be? Maybe as a mother, can I still bring my child to school? And because we all know that some of the side effect can be still there even after treatment ends. So this is the part where I come in to support them during this transition period. And on top of that, I also provide counseling for the caregivers as well. And more important thing is that we also provide trainings as well as also conducting workshops, to help the caregivers and also to help our members know how they can cope with it more emotionally well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, so I think people surrounding the people who are suffering from cancer, regardless which type of cancer, we really need to change our lifestyle as well and our attitude, because you just want them, regardless of whether they are in the serious stage or the initial stage, you just want to ensure that you don't regret, right? Yeah, so you just want to do your part to it. So it's pretty stressful, especially if, let's say, if touch wood, I currently have no such symptoms, but yet, when you're giving care, it's very stressful to your work, to your life, to the extent where I told my team that, if one day I just need to pack and go urgent leave, that kind of thing, you just need to be mindful about it. Yeah, things go on as usual. Just leave me alone to deal with my own problems. Yeah. So, earlier on, we did see the statistics. Remember, we saw that 90,000 cases reported every year in Singapore, and men and women almost 50-50, although it's 49-51. So perhaps from your perspective, how do you think we should, or what we should do to keep the statistics down? Anyone wants to start first?
Maybe I can just start first.
Okay.
Yeah. I think when I look at the number, it's actually quite high. Right? And Mark, can we actually bring the number down? I think we can actually see from different perspective here. I think what we can actually see is from a counselor perspective, we're actually seeing from a different view. So over here, maybe like just physically and also emotionally as well. So physically, it could be like more like, are you exercising well? Are you eating well? Are you sleeping well? Or even, are you seeking medical attention when needed? Yeah. So this is what I call the physical aspect here. But as a counselor, I always like to emphasize on this part, which I emphasize is the emotional check-in. So do we check in with our emotional state? Do you ask yourself, how are you feeling today? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad? And this is very important because this helps us to able to recognize what is the emotional state that we could be currently at. If you're constantly feeling anxious, feeling frustrated, this can actually lead to chronic stress. And sometimes you may not even realize it. Yeah. And over here, I'm not saying that when you're having stress, it means that it will lead to cancer. But when you're stressed, it may lead to an unhealthy lifestyle. For example, drinking, smoking, or not even well, etc. And these are actually risks that, these are actually factors that can actually increase the cancer risk here. Yeah. So therefore, it's important for us to do a check-in ourselves. How are you feeling emotionally? And finding a balance between the physical and the emotional aspect. Yeah.
Sarah, Julian, want to try?
I think I can relate to the chronic stress. I was what I call myself a skinny fat. So seemingly slim, but actually quite fat. So at the age of 38, I love to take pictures of all the food that I would eat. And generally trending popular ones that are carb laden, quite fat actually. And these are the pictures that would have the most reshares and clicks. At the same time, I realized that because of that, I needed to reduce and become more conscious and mindful of what I'm eating. To bring the statistics down, I now often advocate about mindful eating. I used to sit in front of the television. I don't know how many of you actually can relate to this. Conditional association of snacking in front of the TV. I think quite a few of you are smiling. Pre-COVID, many of us in the office start to snack in front of our laptops. Because of that, I also realized that at the age of 38, it's also the most busy time of one's life in modern society in Singapore. And with that said, the high demands, the pressures that we face in Singapore is what many of, I think, us here can relate to. So that, in order to bring the statistics down, I now share about how it is so important to be what is very important to be mindful of that stress that we have, especially when we have that boundaries. For example, 9 to 6. Do we actually cut off? Do we plow through hours after? These are things that are very important to me now, and I often remind my colleagues around me, hey, it's time to go home. Hello, it's past 6 o'clock. I think that requires a lot of discipline and courage to say no. And the third thing is, because of being diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, it is also very important to understand that in Singapore, a lot of the campaigns only start post 40. And what this means is that I have to be very responsible to have those checks myself. 4 things. 1, to go for blood tests whenever we have the chance to. Encourage our younger friends to just get the cancer markers as an added item. 2, which is to make sure that executive health screenings that we have benefits in our companies, make use of that. 3, vaccine, for example, hepatitis B and also HPV for cervical cancer. These are things that we can do for ourselves, and definitely TLC, touch, look, check, and use our common sense. So these are the things that I would recommend to be mindful, to actually be aware, and to also be responsible in bringing the statistics down for ourselves and for our families.
Thank you, Julian. Audrey?
To also echo what Julian has said about the prevention part, for cervical cancer, it is preventable. So there is vaccine for it. Ladies, do go for your pap smear. Get it done as soon as you can. My gynae actually told me that, once you reach a certain age, let's say above maybe 40, you should go for even regular pap smear, like at least once every year, right? Rather than the usual 2 to 3 years. So I personally regretted that I did not do my pap smear a few years ago, because I could have arrested the cells before they turn into cancer. So that's why I would urge everyone, ladies especially, to go for those tests as soon as you can. The second part of preventing or keeping the stats low, I would say it's about emotional health, as Sarah mentioned. Like in my case, when I look back on my past lives, be it work life and especially emotional life, for me, it's really a case of like the body said no. It's like for so long, I've been like repressing my emotions. Of course, I felt like joy or sadness or whatever, but especially for emotions which are uncomfortable, like sadness, fear, anxiety, I've been just pushing them down, like saying that, oh, no, it's okay, it'll be over, then just brave on etc. And without realizing that over time, I was in fact numbing myself in a sense, like maybe with work or even other activities which are not so conducive. Yeah, so emotional health check-ins is very important. That is in addition to the physical health. So after my diagnosis and while I was waiting to go for my treatment, I actually started active exercising, going online to read up more about the types of exercises that I could do because I'm at my midlife as well. And menopause is something that is starting like to become like very clear to me that in fact I likely would be going through like perimenopausal during this time as well. Yeah, so what type of exercises to do at this stage, and also to look after my heart health. So cardiovascular health for ladies is also very important. I mean, I'm not a medical professional, but from what I read online, is that the symptoms of cardiovascular disease or issues for women are different from that of men. Yeah, so do be mindful of our heart health as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Audrey. So I think we have quite a number of questions on the screen. The HPV part already mentioned, so it can be addressed. Do you recommend vaccination? Also addressed. Yes, yeah. Even my daughter, she had it at age 25. Yeah. So this is something that can be done. What kind of support system has been most helpful to you? Okay, we will address this one as well as the cost part. Yeah. So perhaps maybe we stick to Audrey first. Yeah. So what kind of support system works for you, during that period of time, and how do you settle the cost part? Yeah.
I'll mention the cost part first. So I was very glad that I bought health insurance, critical illness included, hospital, surgical insurance. So that helped me to cover my costs, medical costs, treatments, and so on and so forth, right? So I'm very grateful I had those insurance. My family also supported me in a sense because I was actually on a career break when I was diagnosed with cancer. So I wasn't working. I was relying on my savings to tide me through. And actually, my family, mentioned that, oh, it's okay, let us know if you need any financial help. We'll support you and things like that. So I'm glad that I have them as my kind of fallback. Yeah. So, and that lead to my point about a supporting system. When I was diagnosed, I was alone at the clinic. So mentally, cognitively, I knew, okay, this is the fact of the matter, right? But emotionally, I didn't, I was like trying to keep it down. Yeah. Then after that, I was like, oh no, the reality sets in, right? And then I started to feel the fear, the sadness. It's like I anticipate the loss because the doctor recommended the surgery has a treatment, right? So it then dawned on to me that yeah, I would lose something that belongs to me. So that loss is very real. And I reached out to my partner, my family, my friends for support. And I did a lot of journaling as well. So I think that was what I did in private to kind of like talk to myself. Yeah, the emotional check-in part of it. So I would say in terms of support, I had my close family members and friends. Yeah, and that helped a lot.
Okay. Thank you, Julian.
Support definitely very similar. My partner, my family. I think something to note is also my boss and my colleagues. For all of us who are working with other people, which it's so important to provide that support. When I texted my boss, she said, "Come, let's meet immediately." And the next morning we did. Just by having that conversation in person really provided the emotional support. So I highly encourage any team leader to reach out whenever someone actually tells you that I am not feeling well, to really just be there as a friend. Meaningful relationships do make the difference in our in my day, and I believe in everyone's day. I think the third thing is to also support by relying on other people. Uh, it took a lot of me to recognize, and it was a very humbling experience to actually ask for help, to be ready to reach out and say that, hey, I'm not feeling well, to open up and say that I feel like this. And I think more importantly is to myself, I needed to be that biggest cheerleader. And so I realized that it's so important to speak kindly to myself, because I used to beat myself up and be that perfectionist and say like, oh, maybe I am not good enough, or that I could have done this better. But now I realize that I need to support myself. Most importantly is to actually be kind and say that, hey, Jules, you actually did well in this, before actually recognizing that I didn't do well in that one thing. So being mentally prepared and having that endurance for the next 12 months is something that you can also share with your families, or if you are giving care to another person, and relying on routine. I cannot function without at that time discipline. I wasn't motivated, so I just rely on small habits on a daily basis. And lastly, to actually just completely rely on faith. So I was very, very I was praying a lot more, and I was very reliant on what I cannot see, and just having faith and believing that things will be better.
Thank you. Sarah, from the flip side of it, yeah. So when you're counseling all the your clients who are, patients, right? Yeah. So what have you seen from a support perspective? What works for them most of the time?
I think over here is really to understand what are some of the challenge they have here. So maybe I can just quote an example. So one of my clients, I think probably you also have heard also like, why me? Why not others? I've been eating so healthily. I've been sleeping well, but why me? And also, there'll be questions like, whether these are statements like no choice, I have no other choice, but to have to go for treatment. What other options do I have? But actually, is it really no choice? Yeah. So that's where we actually comes in to help them to see from a different perspective here. Yeah. So maybe like this question, like no choice, what can I do? Actually, there's a choice. Yeah. So the choice, it could be you can choose not to go for treatment, but of course that's not encouraged here. Yeah. But right. But also we also want to understand. So what is actually keeping them going? Despite all the side effects they're suffering, feeling so unwell and things like that. So, help us to recognize what are some of the resources, what are some of the areas that actually supporting them, to help them to see from different perspectives here. For example, family support, or maybe the will to live, or even like some career. Yeah. So these are actually some of the ways that we actually help our clients to see from different perspectives. And also other ways that we can help our clients is to also with some coping strategies here. For example, like if one actually feeling very anxious, very fearful about the treatment, I think there's a lot of like struggles that one can have when it's going through cancer. So to name a few, like example, like just now you're talking about the cost, right? And also the family support. So not everybody have the support they have. Other concerns like just now Jenny was saying the communication part. Yeah. So actually you can see there's a very different concerns over here. So we need to help our clients to understand what is the concerns here before we can actually address to support them. So I think some of the comments I always face like the fear of the cancer treatment. Whether cancer works. Or even like, survivorship. Can I still perform the role I used to do? So these are the fears, anxiety one can face. So as a counselor here, we also guide them, not just to look from different perspectives, but also to guide them in some coping strategies. For example, breathing technique. Yeah. Or even like, say, encourage yourself. Can you like, have a healthier inner dialogue here? So these are some of the coping strategies that we actually with our client here. And more important thing is to provide them a safe space. Because some of our clients actually share with us that there are some issues they find very personal and they are actually do not feel very comfortable to share with their family members. Yeah. So this is actually counseling give them this safe space for them to express what is really in their mind or how they are exactly feeling. So in short, counseling over here, we try to give support to our clients, by helping them to recognize the resources they have, how to reframe their thinking, and also some of the coping strategies that they can apply in their life, because this can give them a better sense of control here, as we continue journey with our clients.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, so I mean, there was a question about impact to you and the family. I would say that I come from the family side of this thing, right? The first impact, frustration, just now I already mentioned, right? Because some parents like mine, they don't want to burden me with all this. So every time I ask for anything, they say I'm fine. If you're fine, you wouldn't be in this kind of situation, right? So you get frustrated. So how to cross that frustration? The second thing is when my mom went through the chemo, her taste bud gets very bland, right? Oh, whole family 重口味, we have to eat very heavy stuff now. So instead of the she can't take steamed things, right? Yeah, steamed food are very bland, and then the whole family now must eat very salty, very spicy, something, because she can't taste it. Yeah. So the whole family has to work with her. But of course, the key thing is we have to support her throughout the journey, and we want to make sure that she's positive. So luckily, she is very obedient patient, because some of patients, they are not obedient. They're very rebellious one, and they are their own doctor. Yeah. Okay. So, but luckily for me, my mom is very obedient, follow instructions. So we try to make her happy all the while. So she survived the chemo and the surgery, but new things turn up again. Yeah. So these are things that we have to face. And I think as family caregivers, we just need to find our way to deal with it. Yeah. It's not less stress than the patient themselves. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we are left with 7 minutes. So let's quickly come back to one of the questions, because the rest we have actually addressed it somehow from your sharing. So the quick thing about health screening here. I think this may help, as in, but because we are not medical doctors here, so we can only share from experience, right? If you think you want a medical forum next time, let me know in the feedback later on, and then perhaps I'll get medical doctors on the stage for you. Yeah. So health screening, how much is enough, and what do we check for to ensure that we can detect cancer early? Any experience sharing here?
Maybe I'll share my most recent experience at the executive health screening. You can actually ask for an a la carte menu. So you pick off what is there. So I asked for service, and this very kind nurse said that if these are not so important, but this, and that. So I said, okay. And then I decided to take what she had dished out, which was I think about $70 for the 5 cancer markers. And then it's an additional the food allergies, which I then decided not to, although I was curious. And then I decided to invest in a PET scan, which is basically the most expensive scan that one can invest in our own health to see if I still have any cancer from head to toe. Alternatively, one can also go for a CT scan, which is available and is similar. It has got millions of imaging. So these are the things that I decided to do for myself.
Okay, great. Any advice from you, Audrey? Or just at least do the basic normal health screening?
Yeah, I think that minimally do the basic ones. I mean, for ladies, can do those that is related to female cancer conditions, like as I mentioned, Pap smear, breast, what do you call that?
Breast ultrasound.
Yeah,
if you don't want to do a
ultrasound.
mammogram,
Yes,
you
for
can do
ovaries.
ultrasound.
Yeah, checking the ovaries as well. Yeah, so
Okay, good. Sarah, anything to add?
I think for this, I always recommend if unsure, always check with the doctor.
That's the
Yeah.
best advice,
Yes.
right? Okay, yeah. So I think we have more or less answered all the questions here, although in different manner, but we covered those topics here. So thank you very much for sharing your personal experience. I hope it gives you some highlights about what to look out for, what to pay attention to. Especially even for myself, I would say that because of what's going on, I started to resume exercising. Right? Yeah. So when you're so busy at work, at your desk, and you travel so much, you just want to let go, right? That let go by right actually can be replaced by exercising. So that's what I've been doing recently to catch up on that. Yeah. So I hope you do too. At least exercise a little bit. Yeah. No need to be a lot to start with that kind of ambition. So thank you for your time, panelists. Thank you for sharing, because when I was checking with them, not everyone is willing to share their personal experience. It's very personal. Yeah. So I'm very glad both of them volunteered and agreed to this speaking moment. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for having us.
So we had a special one, a panel. We got picture taking.